Hi everyone, greetings from National Skills Network. This is Madhuri, and today I'm going to introduce you to something very interesting happening in the skill development and technical training scenario at NTTF. Some of you might be aware of what NTTF does and also the courses they offer, and especially those of you who are following us on YouTube and our website. We have already shared a lot of info, but today, this conversation is going to be very specific to the current admission season and how there is a need for students to consider technical training and skill development courses as one of the most important options for their careers. So let us get started by talking to Mr. N. Suresh, who's the head of skill development at NTTF. So welcome to this talk, Mr. Suresh, and we really look forward to some very important and useful insights and advice for our young people, our students who are, yet to decide which path to take, which stream to opt for, and various other decisions which are crucial in their careers.
Thank you, Madhuri, and good morning. And thanks for having me over.
Thank you.
I hope to have something valuable for the students during
Yes.
the course of discussion.
Yes. So as I just mentioned, this is specifically for helping students decide and ensure that the studies they do really make sense in today's world, where we are saying that just getting a degree is not enough. Skills are also important, and most of the jobs are coming up, in the technical, in the technology area, or they have to have some basic technical skills. Of course, they also have to have non-technical and the soft skills part, but we feel that these courses have more options and a good career. So let's get started by learning more from you about what are some of the popular courses at NTTF, the top courses which really interest students.
So year on year, if I look at all the courses are improved significantly. The
Okay.
enrollments in all the programs that we have got.
Hmm.
But specifically, if you ask me to pick 3 to 4 of the top enrollments,
Yeah.
the first one goes to mechatronics and smart factory.
Okay.
On that, we have the maximum number of admissions.
Hmm.
Then it is for electronics and embedded systems, is the second highest enrollments. Okay, then we have tool engineering and digital manufacturing, and
Hmm.
then various other programs. But I cannot say that there is significant difference and the admission season is still on. But at this point of time and going by the trend, I think we'll end up with mechatronics and smart factory as the most enrolled program this year.
Okay, so that shows that smart manufacturing and these are all these latest technologies, Industry 4.0, all these are kind of becoming very popular among students. And I think they also have good placement chances, when they learn, complete these courses, right? Now, going
Exactly.
by this premise that the courses you mentioned, like mechatronics, which is actually a combination of many skills and many disciplines, it's more or less like multidisciplinary courses. So if students want to enroll for the similar ones in different NTTF centers, wherever these are available, what could be like, what are the entry points for some of the courses, and what is the selection criteria that you have at NTTF? Is it the same across centers? Maybe you can share more details on this.
Basically, across all the centers and the program, the eligibility criteria, the qualification criteria remains the same.
Yeah.
Okay, so they should be below 24 years
Mm-hmm.
because that is to just to ensure that their employability is high.
Yeah.
Because we also look at NTTF doesn't do any program that doesn't end up in a placement.
Hmm.
Okay, even a short-term program that we embark on, the end result has to be a good, comparably better placements to any other institution of our kind.
Hmm.
Okay, when I say institution of our kind, our benchmark is not necessarily vocational or technical training. So if you look at the hostel, we compare it with the other hospitality industry. In technical training, we compare ourselves with the kind of delivery that IIT do in terms of knowledge, but NTTF is clearly focused on skill. Okay,
Yeah.
so most of our programs, the entry is at 10th standard. with mathematics as a subject. So equivalent of various other qualifications in the states, like it could be matriculation, it could be 10th standard, CBSE, ICSE, or the SSLC or SSC. So any of these which is equivalent to 10th standard. Okay,
Yeah.
but maths is an essential thing because NTTF is clearly focused on technical training.
Yeah.
Okay, so maths is a must. And as I told you, the age limit is 24 at this point of time. And how do they get inside? We have a very, very simple 10th standard level entrance examination. Okay, so as one of the architects of NTTF always used to say, anybody who comes to the gate should be provided with an opportunity to be skilled technically. So going forward, I think it might go away when we have enough of infrastructure and capability. But at this point of time, due to the limited infrastructure and capability that we can absorb, we do have a process of elimination by way of an entrance examination, which is a very, very simple one. Okay, and clearly we have a focus on encouraging the youth from the rural and marginalized, economically backward. So it is not going to be something which requires high level of training to take the entrance exam. So if you're fairly okay, you will be able to crack the entrance examination. Okay, this is my general program intake. And then for people who have done 12th standard.
Yeah.
Okay, so here is an opportunity for them to enroll into the second year of our programs. So all our programs, diploma programs are of 3 years.
Right.
And people who have completed 12th or ITI, they can enroll into the second year of our program. Okay, but the thing is that they'll need to undergo a 120 hours bridge program. And if they're ITI people and if they're in a non-related trade, say, for example, an ITI in electronic mechanic, he suddenly wants to move to mechatronics.
Yeah.
Or they want to go to tool and die making. In which case, they undergo a 80 hours bridge program. The key thing here is what, in 2 years, okay, by the time they complete the program, everything that is available to my regular program students, like placement, everything. So in 2 years after 12, they are employed, which is not possible in traditional mode of education. Correct. So they need to, at least, even if they go to a non-technical degree, they need to do a 3-year program. And with technical ones, they are actually 4 years. And medicine and all those things, it takes even more. Yes. But if you're looking at employment, then you have it at the end of 2 years. Right. Okay. And then these are my general 3-year programs. But there are other programs also in NTTF, like postgraduate level programs, right, where the qualification criteria will be a graduate engineering degree in any technical field. Okay. Since we offer it in the area of tool design and product design, usually the people from the mechanical engineering or instrumentation and production engineering, they are the branches who come and do this postgraduate degree program, which is of 2 years, or postgraduate diploma program, which is of 1 year.
1 year.
Okay. So these are the various levels for entry. See, while we are at this, I want to bring out one very important aspect. Concurrently on all our programs, people can also enter into NOCN UK or NCC UK's certification program. They are all actually qualifications which they can acquire, my students can acquire while they're undergoing program in NTTF.
NTTF. Okay.
Okay. So in NCC, the only condition is that they need to have completed 12th of hours, because that's a 12 plus 3-year program, off-cal qualification provided by NCC UK. But that is provided in so at the end of this program, they acquire L5 DC, level 5 diploma in computing. Okay, which makes them eligible in the UK and in the entire Europe as an equivalent qualification. Okay, so otherwise we take everybody at the 10th standard level, barring some special programs. So if they are wanting to do BVOC, there is Bachelor in Vocational, which is a new degree we are recognized by MSD and also by UGC. They need to have completed 12th. Right. Yeah. So this is about the admission criteria and qualifications. Yeah. Anything else? So NOCN, everyone who are enrolling into various specialization, like mechatronics, we have tool engineering or tool design and smart factory, digital manufacturing, electronics and embedded systems, electrical and electronics, computer and IT infrastructure. All these branches also provides you a NOCN qualification at level 5. Okay, so this is about the various entry requirement for our programs.
Okay. Yeah. So as we just heard from Mr. Suresh, there are quite a few options actually if a student wants to join NTTF. And basic, as we saw, the entry level is 10th or anything equivalent to 10th, called by different names in different states in India. And I think after they also, do the entrance test, which is pretty simple, when they enroll, what I heard is something very interesting, that the students have an option to also take up qualifications from UK, which will also, I think, prepare them for international opportunities, right? I'm sure that is going to help them if they are interested. Even otherwise, if you do the diploma from NTTF, either you join at 10th or you join later. If you already are an ITI student, right, you get exemption for an year and then you do a bridge course. All these are helping students prepare for employment, which is, which could be a big need for them. So that is one. And the other thing is they can also go in for higher education, higher qualifications, right? So that's a wonderful opportunity for many students to explore while they are trying to see if they can do something exciting in the industry, like manufacturing, like smart manufacturing industry 4.0 and others. And now I would like to know more about how the placement thing works. But along with placement, maybe you can give us some ideas about. Normally, the notion of technical education and training is it's very limited to technical and all that. But here we know in NTTF, you do take care of them and there is a holistic approach. So maybe you can tell us a bit about how you make it holistic and fulfilling for the students.
What NTTF taught me was not just lessons. Okay, they taught me how to learn. Yeah. Basically. So whatever was taught to me is the methodology of how you can learn, upgrade myself. Then, starting with 8085 processor, today we program all the ARM processors and the real state of art and latest technologies. Okay, so that is the methodology of NTTF. So it's more than teachers coming and teaching certain or taking lessons. We are all allowed to learn, explore and learn. So in other words, they facilitate learning than getting into instruction mode. And the other key thing that happens in NTTF is to learn by doing, which means my understanding of the concepts or even the fundamentals are far more deeply embedded compared to just listening to a lectures. Yeah. And then later on going and doing something called practicals, which is what happened even in the premier institutions here. Right. But in NTTF, most of the classes happen in the laboratories or in the workshops. So everything that is taught is directly implemented so that the registration of fundamentals are far more stronger. Yeah. Okay. And then while we are there, we are also evaluated on the entire aspects of our life, like how I am in the hostel, how orderly I am, how well I behave with the other students. Okay. And presentation skills. Because we have very, very something unique things called discovery learning. We have something called green rack, red rack presentation, shop talks or the lab talks, where we are asked to go and present it in front of our own audience for the lab talks or the shop talks. So I start learning how to present my ideas. Okay. Firstly, in the environment that I'm comfortable with, and then we do a bigger thing like red rack, green rack presentation in the assembly. Okay, so it is very, very funny for many to see that we still, at this level, we have assemblies in the morning where we have very minor exercises, then reading out the news of the day. Then we have something called the human resource principle. Okay, how we deal with human beings. Yeah. I mean, in very, very simple language, which everybody grants, you should be compassionate to people. And then when somebody is in need, go and help them instead of being very selfish and it's me and myself. So NTTF builds in all these kind of values too. And needless to say, like any other thing, we have very, very strong cultural clubs. We have very strong sports where we have inter-unit competitions and, both in cultures and in sports. So
Yeah.
when you get out of this place, I am not just an electronics engineer or electronically skilled, but I am totally holistically grounded. A
Hmm.
person, and another great thing with my trainers. Okay, so what I try to imbibe today as a part of a staff of this organization is how I learned lessons from them.
Yeah.
Every teacher used to live with us.
Hmm.
Okay, what you call in the ancient Indian system of Gurukul kind of a thing.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so since most of the learning is by doing, so our concepts are fundamentally very strong and we are capable of doing. That's the key thing. So when we get into the industry, I have a lot of ideas here, but in the end, there is nobody to implement and realize those ideas in real life. So
Yeah.
NTTF, we work on equipment that are really industry of industrial use. See, for example, most of our plants have got robots that are used in the industry,
Right.
modern manufacturing, automotive industries. We have 5-axis CNC machines, which are used today. Even in the industry, you find it very rarely.
Hmm.
So what it does to me as a trainee, when I pass out of this place, I am not in awe of things that when I'm in the industry. Otherwise, what happens is, we are very scared. Oh,
Yes.
this is very expensive equipment, whether I will be able to handle. I'm talking about 1988 when I handled the first digital storage scope,
Hmm.
where even graduates from the most premier institutions were very scared of touching because they think that's expensive. I might end up damaging.
Hmm.
So that's something that NTTF brings to the table, for the industry. Anybody who passes out, they are ready from the day one in all respects. It's not just about technical skills or the interpersonal skills or communication skills. When we have very few vacations.
Hmm.
NTTF has very few vacations, just like in an industry. We have 10 days of casual leave or so many days of sick leave and so many days of earned leave or what you call the vacation leaves. Exactly similar culture is imbibed to me from the moment I enroll into the program. We
Yeah.
work for 8.5 hours, unthinkable for an academic institution. 8.5 hours is what we spend in the campuses, all the students, and make it interesting for them.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise, coming from a regular schooling system and then asking them to study for 8.5 hours on the campus, it's a very, very challenging thing. So NTTF methodology makes it so interesting for them. They
Hmm.
don't know 8.5 hours passed, evident by the low absenteeism, people
Yeah.
who complete the course. So we have metrics even to measure such things in NTTF. So when you go to the industry, we don't have frivolous reasons, like my granny died, so I want leave. So we have all these funny excuses we dish out in the schools. So
Yeah.
here we know this is what industry, and we lose attendance if you're late by 10 minutes, which translates to half a day's pay loss, pay cut in an
Hmm.
industry. So everybody knows this is how my industry life in future is going to be.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is something that is very, very unique in NTTF. Everything is hands-on. And today the advantage is so long we had a disadvantage because we were accepted by industry and getting into the regular academic grind.
Yeah.
It was very restrictive to
Hmm.
innovate in terms of contents, innovate in terms of delivery, methodology, and the rigors of an academic program. Because the regular programs gives a lot of allowances, but NTTF did not want to give any allowance in terms of quality. I
Hmm.
mean, when we get out, that is what industries used to come and hire us for 65 years, year after year. They come and recruit us and place it at a very good levels and salaries that are comparable to any other qualifications. Okay, but we never had an academic equivalence.
Hmm.
Gradually, what we thought, okay, there are students who wanted, who aspire to go and pursue their academic thing.
Yeah.
That is when NTTF began working and tweaking the program without diluting the rigors. We thought, okay, we will also create some equivalence where students can pursue their higher studies
Hmm.
by entering into lateral entry into various universities.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of universities today accepting NTTF qualification for lateral entry like any other diploma programs. Even better development in the last year, we also became a NCVET,
Yeah.
National Council for Vocational Education and Training. That's a body that controls all the vocational education and training qualifications in the country.
Yes.
We became an awarding and assessment body, which means I can create qualifications and I can assess the qualifications that we have developed. So all our diploma programs today have a national recognition apart from the NOCN and international recognition, and obviously the industry recognition that we always had. Today, our programs are NCVET level, NCVET level 4.5 recognized programs.
Yeah.
It is creditized, which means I can, it's mobile. My qualifications are today become mobile. See, if I'm getting into any other program which requires any credits that I've acquired here, I can directly use it for my further studies or to upgrade my level of qualification.
Yeah.
And I can also have multiple exit and multiple entry. Say, for example, I have a scheme which I think I might be wrong, but I think we will be the first one in the sector to offer this to the industry or to the education and academic domain, where a student can come complete 1 year, that minimum 1 year. So probably going forward, we can also dilute it down to 6 months. A student comes in for 1 year, he completes 1 year, he gets a particular level of certification of NCVET, he gets into an employment.
Right.
And then he comes back after a time and enrolls with the same credits that he has gone out with. As an entry level qualification, he comes and he or she comes and enters into the second year. And they continue the further. Then they can take another break, then go and work in the industry, then come back and do the third year and finish the program. Only limit is that everything has to happen within a span of 7 years.
Okay.
Okay, so multiple entry, multiple exits, credits, and NCVT equivalents, which makes the qualifications portable. So all this is the big advantage that people can expect and get when you enroll into NTTF programs. The campus placement is something that is a given here. So most of our thing is by word of mouth. We have, if you see, you'll find very less of advertisements anywhere of NTTF in the world. So most of our enrollments happen as high as 40% is by word of mouth. Okay, and then industry references and all such kind of things is what brings in enrollments for NTTF, which means I don't spend too much for student acquisition. Everything that this Section 8 company that we are not for profit, which we do is pumped back into creating and developing better infrastructures for training the students. Okay, so, and like I said, today academically also those who are inclined to pursue academical, we have basics that are provided that they can go and provide, expect academic pursuits also can be done.
Yes. So,
Was that too much or should I?
No, so what I noticed is, this very passionate description actually brought out few important points. One is the holistic approach to learning, which you mentioned, how you take care of the person, the student as a human being and holistic development. And this flexibility aspect is also very important. Like you mentioned, the NCVET accreditation and all, which I think is the need of the hour, because we are also talking about today micro-credentialing of the courses, where students don't have to spend a lot of time if they have to really get into a job. So I think these are all very contemporary and very modern, aspects of learning, technical training and skill-based learning. So besides this, I think also what we got to learn is that following the credit system, I think is also going to help students in a big way to become vertically or horizontal mobility, as we talk about, right, in their careers. Now, in addition to this, what we would like to know is about the PG programs from NTTF. Especially, you already mentioned a bit, but maybe a little more of detailing will help us, like especially for the engineering graduates. Yeah. So how
Before I
does
get
this
into
work?
PG, I also want to tell an interesting thing program that we have in NTTF.
Okay.
Just to demonstrate how holistic we are.
Okay.
We have, apart from making NTTF student enter domains which otherwise was considered not good for females, like tool makers. We, NTTF created the first tool maker, lady tool maker in the world, but definitely in Asia. Okay, so one Rajalakshmi,
Yes.
she was the first lady toolmaker. So toolmaker was considered
Yeah.
exclusively a male preserve. Okay, mechanical engineering. Even today, no, the takers are very less, but you see very good percentage of population of students in NTTF are by females.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have very good gender equivalence. Secondly, no, we also are very inclusive for the physically different people. We have a program in which we teach electronics to people whose eyes or hands are okay, which means any other kind of locomotive shortcomings, we can still make them skill and get excellent jobs. Okay, so for 35 years, NTTF has been training people with the hearing and speech impairment, people with lower locomotive disabilities, like polio stuck and everything. So NTTF, that has been done for 35 years, and everybody, like in any other programs, are placed in Volvo, in TVS, and big, huge multinationals. And that also goes with 100% placements. So I also welcome, if anybody is there, please do refer NTTF, and that is given free of charge. Hostel, food, and the education. That will lead to a NCVT degree.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever is the traditionally is given by the IT industrial training institutes. So they get electromechanic trade. Okay, again, they also participate in all the programs of our regular programs along with the regular trainees.
Yeah.
They participate in sports, they participate in culturals. Okay, so apart from being a holistic development, we are also very, very inclusive place is what I wanted to tell before we come back to the question that you asked.
Yeah.
See, PG programs, no, like PG initially, I believe, no, because it historically was started because we wanted to give a bridge between people who are from the campus directly to fit into the industry. We addressed it at the 10th standard level with the diploma and post-diploma programs. But in fact, graduate level also, we found there was a huge gap, skill gap, to make people be ready for the industry from day one.
Yeah.
That's when we decided that, okay, possibly the contents that are delivered in our regular graduation programs were not enough for the industry. So they wanted some kind of specialization, okay, which is readily usable for the needs of the industry even today. That's when the postgraduate programs started. So some people just to cater to the people who want to get employment into 1 year, and to people who are ready to study, go further and get a degree program after 2 years, postgraduate degree. So we had both the programs actually lined up for both the category. So postgraduate degree programs, they study for 2 years. They really go hands-on again, because which was lacking in our regular academic university programs. Most of the teachers who teach there are people from the industry. So we do have experienced faculty in-house, but if you see, most of the delivery is done by people who are very passionate teachers who are trained in pedagogy, but who are from the industry. They come and translate, okay, this is exactly what we are looking for in an engineer when you come to the industry. And we told, okay, we require people who can really do tool design, and that too very practical. Things that are designed from the table should go into the tool room directly without too much of ado. Okay, so that kind of skills were put in the 2 years that is spent in the School of Postgraduate Studies.
Yeah.
Okay, that is located only in Bangalore. This particular program is offered only in Bangalore at this point of time. Okay, so everybody needs to come to Bangalore to do this program in PINIA.
Yes.
Okay, that is the campus in which we offer. That's called the School of Postgraduate Studies.
Yeah.
Again, what I want to tell is that, okay, they work on design, product design with the latest software applications. And we do have a very modern design studio. So we have shows. Apparently, I believe you also were
I
a
saw.
party. You saw that.
Yes.
So great job that they create a lot of products and a lot of innovations, everything. So gradually, we might become a research center. So hopefully, we get there where people use that also. It's not just skilling or academic pursuits. It's also you can come and do some kind of research here.
Right.
So we hope to get there someday.
Yeah,
Okay,
that.
so even for people who are looking after graduation, and if they're, because there are a lot of people, they don't know they're at loss because they say 3% is
Hmm,
what statistics says are employable with
right.
directly by an industry. And with by the time they become productive in the industry, they say it's not less than 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the situation. But whereas people, you spend 2 years and directly they have a skill that is ready for the industry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's about postgraduate school.
Yeah, and it's nice to know that you're planning to make it into, I mean, sometime later, it could be a research center, which is much needed. And I think NTTF can definitely take the lead there.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm
uh,
wishing that it happens because I'm not telling there is a plan to do it, but
yeah.
considering the facilities that is there, easily it could become a research center.
Yes, it should also. We feel it
Yes,
should also.
yes.
Yeah, and because there is a need, and research is something which is much needed in all the disciplines that you were talking about. So let's hope so. And before we close this conversation, as we ask all our experts to share, their advice to the audience, mostly the students. So what would be, let's say, your 3 or 4 important points for the students?
See, one main thing is what, this is targeted to people who might not have the privilege of getting education that we urban people can get.
Correct.
Okay, NTTF is a great leveler.
Hmm.
I mean, not in the negative sense that leveler is normally used for. This is a program where even a rural or urban, any kind of gender,
Hmm.
people with very bad English skills, everybody have come, and by the time they go out, they're all at the same level. Okay,
Hmm.
if you are in the rural and don't think it is a disadvantage, NTTF is the place. So we create a lot of Kandbales. Kandbale is the person who wrote the first dictionary from Marathi to English, and now it is one of the most popular English dictionary. So
Hmm.
he wanted to quit engineering. If you study, his background, he wanted to quit engineering because he had lack of English. And here is an example, the person, yours truly is an example of it was not required. See, today I have a hold a conversation of so much time that we are conversing
Yeah.
comfortably in English.
Yes.
Okay, and then I've been speaking publicly and everything, all thanks to NTTF.
Hmm.
Okay, so my advice is no, please do not think that it is only for people who can speak good English, people who are city bred. You
Hmm.
want to be a good engineer, no? Please think of NTTF as the first place to go to.
Hmm.
Where we have a very unique thing called the rope-in program. That itself, that 15 days, first 15 days in our campus itself is very transformation experience.
Hmm.
Yes, we see that in that, and I welcome you, Madhuriji, to come and witness because our academic program is going to start next
Yeah.
month. So you should be part of this rope-in program, what we call Navachetna
Hmm.
camp. No, the first 15 years they are away from the campus. That program will prepare all the students for the next 3 years.
Hmm.
And there is no disadvantage of region, religion, gender,
Yeah.
and the kind of this thing. So if you see the every, as my late Dr. Reguraj used to tell, every graduate from NTTF touches minimum of 5 people.
Hmm.
That is the impact they create, on their family, the near family
Yeah.
or their relations. So 5 people is what get transformed when you come to NTTF.
Hmm.
So skill is aspirational today. Okay, that's the next advice that I want to give. Earlier, skill was considered a blue collared one. See, today I've been in my past experience, I also raised to the level of a CEO of a huge multinational.
Okay.
Okay, so they are virtually in everybody's drawing rooms by printers, peripherals, and everything. I was a CEO of one of the group companies.
Okay.
Okay, all with the entity of qualification. So there is nothing to stop you from dreaming big, and most importantly, realizing it.
Yeah.
NTTF prepares you for that. Okay, so do not think there is a disadvantage, and skill is no longer less aspirational, because otherwise, no, mostly Indians, no, we as
Yeah.
Indians would like knowledge. Okay, and which is proven in the world. No, we are too good at that.
Yeah.
But to go and do and work, we always used to think that it's not so great to be. So today, the growth opportunities, even for people with good skills, most importantly, knowledge is not enough is a realization this country has come to.
Yes.
Okay, so knowledge with skills is what sells in the country today, and that is the need of the country also. So
Right.
skill itself has given them huge growth path, be it in the industry or even academically.
Hmm.
Okay, so please do consider, and you have got a course which it can suit any kind of interest. Those who are ready to want electronics, you have electronics, electrical, mechanical, mechatronics, which is a combination of everything. So mechatronics people no longer look at Star Wars as their serial of ideal. No, they are all really seen in the campuses.
Yeah.
This thing, robo walking, doing things.
Yeah.
Okay, so please do consider skilling as a really an important option, not to rule out.
Hmm.
Okay, because today the opportunities, even people who have got the right skills, are enormous.
Yes.
Okay, so we welcome, we hope to see lot of students enrolling into skill programs. And one of the most pioneering industries for 65 years is NTTF. So I hope to see them here.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for your inspirational words for the students. And as you said, skilling is becoming important, and complementing it with knowledge is the need for all of us, especially in India. So thanks once again, Mr. Suresh, for giving us your time and telling us so much about not only NTTF and its courses, but connecting it with your personal your personal, like your professional journey, I would say, where you give a lot of credit to how you gained a lot by being a student in your student days. So thanks once again, and we look forward to be connected with you and learn more about various updates from NTTF. Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Wishing everyone all the very best. Thank you, Madhuriji, once again, and NSN
thank,
for having me over and for this privilege.
thank you.